is going on, everybody? Live in the cabin tonight, Up North Journal, episode 455.
That's right.
Hope everybody's doing well tonight.
Good evening. Everybody's an hour ahead of their schedule.
I am, yes, and my microphone is tipping on me here.
And like you said,
What did I say?
you said, I'm not used to it being light.
At this time, right? Yeah, we had to tweak the lighting tonight in the studio here in the cabin to make sure everything looked right because we've got outside light coming in.
That's right.
Had to readjust our white balance. So
Brent Jackson is already on the show.
Hey Brent, what's going on, my man?
Do some sharing here.
That's right. We're going to share real quick, and we will get rocking with tonight's show. So, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I guess I would need to take my ringer off here. That would probably be good, wouldn't it? All right, one more, and I will be ready.
Are you ready now?
I am ready. I am ready. How about you tonight?
I'm ready. It's been a long weekend.
It has been a long week. We've been busy. We've been down at Cabela, so we'll talk a little bit about that tonight here. But hopefully everybody's doing well. And
absolutely.
Let me get my phone here so that way I can monitor what is going on. We got 4 people on right now. Good deal. All right, you ready, Danny?
Brent Jackson just got a CVA 450 Bushmaster.
You dog, you.
It's fun.
Where did you get that at? Did you happen to buy that at Cabela's? I was looking at the
What were you looking at?
300 blackout, but they didn't have any.
Oh, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, they didn't have the muzzleloader either.
Right, yeah, they said they sold a lot of firearms this weekend down there, so.
That's right.
All right, what do you think, Dan? You ready to get rocking?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll get rolling over here, and we will kick this show off. Here. It sounds like somebody's dying out in my living room.
He got it at VF Sports.
Okay, VF Sports, nice. Okay, here we go. Stand by. Huh?
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal Podcast, everybody. Host Mike Adams sitting in the cabin with full daylight out still with Dan Defoe.
Yes, our spring forward show.
Yeah, it's not daylight savings time because we lost an hour, so we're not saving nothing.
You didn't even get to go to bed early to make up your time.
No, I was busy.
You were busy
slinging mud.
Slinging mud.
Yep, I was doing some drywall.
That was in the evening, but during the day we spent the last 2 days at Cabela's.
Yes, that we did. It was an exciting 2 days down there.
Right?
The Turkey Classic, as they say. So
and that's a nice one. It's fun.
It is.
And it's really fun to have.
Hey Tim, what's going on, man? See you on there?
Yeah, Tim's on. Kevin's on. Kevin. Did you happen to see what he's doing today?
No, I did not.
Okay, so he came to the store yesterday.
Yeah,
we talked, right?
Yeah.
Saw him.
Yep, seen the store.
And then today he was boiling sap down, making maple syrup.
Oh.
I think he should have reversed it and did this maple syrup yesterday.
And brought us a sample.
Brought us a sample today.
Yeah, because they were giving food away at Cabela, so we could have put it on whatever they were serving over there. So
exactly.
Very nice.
But we had a good time at Cabela's. It's always good to see new hunters.
It is, and we saw a lot of new hunters.
New hunters and young hunters.
Yes, we did. So, it was a good mix. Like you said, new hunters and seasoned hunters. We were given seminars, some tips, some tricks, and tactics, and things talking about turkeys.
And it was also good in the new beginner category of seeing young to older.
Yeah. Right on.
The gentleman with his son, they were 2 years into it, but they really wanted to get more into it. Last year was kind of a ragtag thing, they said, and they wanted more info.
Right.
One guy was going to be picking it up for the first time this year. So.
Yeah, we had, and a lot of younger kids as well. I mean, there was a good mix of different, like you said, age groups, from teenagers all the way down to, I don't know, what did you say our youngest one we had there at the seminar was? 5, 4?
5, yeah.
4 or 5 years old?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kevin Craven says we need to keep dreaming.
Okay, Kevin, here's what we're going to do. Make a batch up. Danny's going to buy it. We'll bring it back to the cabin. We'll sample it. How about that?
I guess we'll have to do that. Tim deep fried a turkey for them yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
That's what he says. You should come up to Michigan, deep fry us a turkey.
That's right. Forget West Virginia, man. Come on up.
Yeah, and
Man,
Brent Jackson. What'd he do?
Oh, he's talking about the.
Oh,
he got his rifle. He got a jet slip in the same place. So we're just right now for people that are on the podcast. We're kind of chatting back and forth a little bit with some of the people that are on the live stream right now.
Right, exactly. You know, out on the podcast, it's good to listen to it. But if you're free on a Sunday night, 7 o'clock, we're pretty much on time every week here doing a live show.
7 p.m. every Sunday night.
You can check us out.
You know,
some things happen on the show here you won't hear on the podcast.
And some things we talk about on the podcast that you can't see unless you watch the live stream or pick it up on Wednesday when we repost it. So
right, and sometimes we'll do some interviews that
carry
over, and sometimes you won't hear the interview live.
And sometimes we do interviews, we post them, and you'll hear them on the podcast, but you don't hear them here on the live stream.
Right.
So you need to catch both of them, really.
You do.
And tonight's going to be one of those nights because we're going to run a test.
A water test.
Yeah,
and I'm glad Tim is watching because he can watch us do the water test.
All right. So, do we want to put the pressure on him right now?
Well, let's talk. Let's wait on the test.
Wait on the test. We'll make Tim set a little while.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We can do that.
Brent saw nice 5 toms this afternoon with nice beards.
That's something we were hearing at Cabela's quite a bit was the fact that people were starting to see birds already. And, they were seeing the gobblers out doing their thing and getting ready for that breeding season. So, you said you've seen some?
No, my brother called me and said that he's seen them.
Okay, I got, yesterday, phone rings. Look down, we're at the show, they're in the store and working, and it's my dad from Alabama. And I'm like, I better, when your parents get a little older, you see the call.
You never know, so you should pick it up.
So I picked it up real quick. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I just want to let you know, just saw 5 big gobblers out in the field as I was driving around. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks. Appreciate you rubbing it in just a
When's
little bit.
his hunting season start for turkey? Do you know?
They start, I think, the 1st of April.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I know it's before ours.
Okay.
It's usually a couple weeks before. And they can shoot multiple toms in the state of Alabama.
Really?
Yeah. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's 5. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Wow.
Quite a few.
Guess so. I guess they're covered up in birds.
Yeah, well, they do. They got a lot of birds down there. So, yeah, my dad's cousin's always whacking birds. So
really?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have any problem limiting them, so.
And that was one of the questions we had. When's our season? From when our season is to,
what shells to use.
Right,
calls.
What calls. We talked about this. Yesterday's number one question, I think, was what shell? What shell's a good shell?
Yeah. What should I be using? What do you guys use?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, well, it depends on what gun I'm using. So we had to talk about patterning shotguns.
Right, exactly. So,
today was a lot on calls. What kind of calls do you guys use? What kind of calls you run? So
calls and decoys.
Yeah. Hey, Tim. Just make sure you watch for a couple guys maybe from Michigan that might be sending some information your way, looking for some calls. We put some people on direction towards you. So
right. So hopefully they'll get a hold of you, and we had them in our bag and we showed them, and they really liked them.
Absolutely.
So, yep. A couple of new hunters were looking at them, but yeah, it was shell, and then today was call and decoy. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of decoy placement. How do you roam the decoys? Do you use decoys?
Do you use a tom decoy with a fan, or don't you? Or
and it's all personal preference. And like we talked, it was about half and half, whether it's public land or private land. Talked about setups that can get you in trouble on public land with other hunters running and gunning. So
right, exactly. It
was good. It was just a good all around turkey talking weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was good, and it was also good to have that.
Matter of fact,
calling contest.
While we're here, we'll show you a couple pictures from the event this weekend.
Right, we got to meet the new event specialist? Coordinator or specialist?
They meant coordinator.
Yeah, that. Yep.
Yep.
Emily Darling.
Yep. New there to the Chesterfield store there.
Yeah, she just started Monday.
Right. Yeah. Can't get any newer than that. Just about. So.
Started Monday, and the first weekend she's got a big event with a bunch of seminars.
Yeah. Right.
So.
And it had Mike and Danny in the store.
Yeah, and then you had us too in the store, right?
To add to the mess. Yeah. So.
You know, it was.
But it was fun. We had a good time.
Meeting her, it was fun. Also meeting her, she got a new job, but she also worked at Saginaw.
Right. Yeah, she worked at the Saginaw.
She worked at the front desk at Saginaw.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you know, she remembered us. So it was good to get her going, and she had a beautiful setup for us.
Yeah.
Middle of the store, we got our table.
All the turkey stuff right around us.
Yep, and you could see the photo we're showing on the live stream that we had a full class.
We did. Yeah. You know, well, the first seminar we did, actually we gave a couple extras.
Yeah, we gave 3 seminars yesterday and 1 today. The first seminar yesterday was how to mount your turkey fan, and we had 1. So we helped him out.
Right.
And then we had the 1 o'clock youth turkey calling contest.
And that's where you see us there in
tips and tricks.
Yeah, here's a couple of the kids. Actually, 4 of them there playing with calls and trying them out.
This was fun because in this picture you see that we've got 2 families. Each had 2 boys, and they each had a call. And it was just a matter of, you know, one was trying to play better than the other. But it was a good time and they also got to take home a call.
Yeah, they got a call given to them.
Yep, so they were given a free flex tone call from Cabela's.
Yep.
So that way they could mess with the call when they get home and sit in front of the TV and drive mom and dad crazy.
Well, we had to make a stipulation. It was like, kids, you can have these calls and you can take them home with you, but you cannot play them in the car on the way home. We didn't want to see any of these calls laying on the side of I-94 when we left for the day.
Right, you know, and that was the thing. And we had a little bit of a contest, and
a calling contest.
5 of them walked away with, besides a call, they walked away with a $10 gift card from Cabela's.
That's right. So.
And actually, it worked out really good because actually, all the families ended up getting a $10 gift card.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, it was.
It was.
Right.
That's kind of how we.
How it worked out.
How it worked out, and it worked out good. So that was the one thing that you always see, and you want them to have a good experience.
Yep, you want to be successful, and then give them a little something extra to take home with them. That's always an added bonus as well. So.
Right. So that was fun, and
actually, we got a picture here of another caller and her dad. This is Adam Kemmer, and actually, we know him.
Yes.
He is from a group that we run around with called Michigan Deer Hunters. Let them go, let them grow. You've heard us talk about them many times on the show here, but Adam and his wife, I think they came. Did he have? Yeah, he had his wife with him. They came down, brought their daughter, and their daughter's name is, I got it right here in front of me somewhere.
Laney?
Laney, that's right. Yep, and Laney won a $10 gift card.
Right,
so.
She did, and right there we got a picture of her holding her gift card and her free call.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a good time. It was a great time. And the thing that really got me was the kids, they all could play the call by the time they were done.
Right.
Everybody had it down. And what I want to know, though, we were right behind the registers. Between you and me all day.
Right.
And then we had all the kids there, and we were all playing the calls. I wonder if we drove them nuts.
Well, we were pretty close to the people standing in line and listening to us, and the cash registers, people, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
I would think so.
I'm hoping we did.
That's right. I like to leave an impression.
Right, exactly.
Whether good or bad.
You know, so you when you walked into Cabela's, you got the free food, and then you headed over to the turkey stuff. It always works out good that way.
It does. Yeah. It was
you
a good
know,
time.
That was the 1 o'clock seminar, and then at 2 o'clock we held A to Z beginning turkey hunting, which was full again.
Yep. We had adults and teenagers.
Yep.
So
It was a really good. We asked them what they wanted to know, so we could tailor what we were talking about. If we had to go, depending on where we had to start.
Yeah.
And so we covered it for them.
But in the middle of all that, when we were teaching that last seminar, the Turkey 101, I'm sitting there, and there's two guys in front of us, and I was like, man, I swear I know these guys from somewhere.
That's right.
And I was like, I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then, and they're kind of looking at us like, I know you guys, and we started talking afterwards, and lo and behold, it was Vincent and Anthony from Benefit for Kids. We'd seen them there. They'd been on hunts.
They'd been on hunts, and
Yeah.
we met them at Benefit for Kids.
Yeah.
And the mom and grandma, actually the mom was asking some really good questions about turkey hunting, and then after, that's when we put the connection together.
Yeah.
And Vincent, Vincent, this shout out to you. We said we'd mention your name on the show.
Yep, and Anthony as
and
well.
Anthony as well.
Yep.
And so, So right there, a few people we've seen other places came into Cabela.
And I got a picture on my phone. I haven't put it up on Facebook yet, so we'd show the picture, but I couldn't put everything together fast enough. So.
Didn't have enough time.
But big shout out to them. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for coming down and watching and hanging out for us for the turkey seminar. Thanks to everybody that came out at Cabela's the last 2 days, because it was busy, which made it go really well.
Yeah. The day was over, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought we just started.
Truthfully, that was yesterday. That's how it really felt. We walked in the door just before 10, and we didn't stop till 5 o'clock.
Right.
It was, we barely got to eat.
Right. Yeah.
So, but some great questions. They got some great deals going on right now. So if you need some turkey stuff, check out Cabela's. They got a really good deal going on.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're roughly 14 in here. Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we can talk maybe a little more about today. We got a test that we're going to run here.
Yep.
And we got some other things we want to talk about that's in the outdoors, so as
in the outdoor news.
Yes, as we say. So
we're
going to step outside. We'll be right back after this. For those of you on the live stream, as usual, hang on with us.
Yeah, hang on. If you've got any questions or anything that you want us to answer.
Hey, Tammy, how's it going? Glad to see you on tonight.
Just put them on Facebook. We got our Facebook Live going. I just put it in the back. Way to go, Dan. There we go.
And we might have a few new people that we pass cards out to that might be tuning in and checking us out and seeing what's going on here. And, the kind of the way we run this is we just got done recording the audio portion of our podcast. And we do 4 segments, so we're kind of in between segments right now.
Right,
So.
we talked to that was fun, talking to some new people, giving them our cards, having them check us out.
So, all right, you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, here we go. Segment 2, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back. Second segment of the Up North Journal, and it's still daylight out.
It's still daylight. You had to readjust the lights, like we talked about in the first segment, but it'll probably take a couple days, but. It was
you
just
realize it's going to be like this from till now till September. It's going to be daylight when we do this show.
October, right?
Yeah, last September.
November, right?
I don't remember exactly when.
I think it's first weekend.
Well, the time change, yes, but as daylight starts to slip, it gets dark at this time. Yeah.
And just driving over, I had to wear sunglasses, and it was really cool. I'm glad it's back.
Absolutely.
It gives me some more time to be out in the...
Get some vitamin D. The sun.
Right? Not come home and wait to become a mushroom, right?
Right.
So, give me some yard time, but we gotta wait for the weather to...
Spring is here, man.
Well, that's why we're talking turkey, right?
Coming back from your house, when I left your place, coming home tonight, saw 3 deer hanging out down here in the field.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I always look in that field when I drive past the opening down there.
Yeah.
And have you seen any turkeys lately?
No. Strangely enough, okay. Neighbor around the corner here, you go down a quarter mile, and then you go down, probably a quarter to half mile down the dirt road here.
Okay.
Kitty corner to us,
Yep.
That lady, she works at the high school. She works in the attendance office. And Madeline sometimes doesn't make it to school on time, so we have to make a phone call down there. And we get to talk, and we get to catch up on things, back and forth. Hey, what's going on?
Right.
Well, lately she's been seeing coyotes,
Oh.
seeing and hearing in her backyard quite often, more than just 2 or 3.
Really?
And the other night, Mackenzie was leaving with Ben Bucksnort, aka Bucksnort, heading home. They stepped outside, and she called me real quick. Said, "Hey, did you hear the coyotes?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "Well, we went outside to get in the car, and we could hear coyotes out back."
Really?
So yeah, we got a lot of coyotes around.
They were quiet for a while.
Not seeing, for quite a while, quite a few years, we hadn't really seen or heard anything. Now all of a sudden, here since Christmas probably, they're kind of back in the area. Not seeing deer behind my house as much. I've seen some this week, but not very many. It's been a while. Haven't seen turkeys yet. Not seen the first bird cruise through the backfield.
And you usually get 1 or 2 that'll come up right to the fence.
Oh yeah. We've had we had one that flew in the yard and took them a few to get out. I almost turned the dog loose.
Right?
Like, let me help you out of the yard.
Yep. But well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what'll probably happen is now that they're in the area, and I usually see this every couple years, is I'll see that one will get hit on the highway when I head home. So I'll keep my eye out and see if that's going to happen.
Well, if you can, run them over.
Right?
It's kind of the way I feel about them.
So, hey, Denny Steiner's watching us.
Hey, Denny, what's going on? Long time no see. Last time we talked to him was at ATA.
Yeah, and he didn't make it for this year, but now he's...
Yeah.
Last time I saw him for his birthday, he was cleaning his mounts.
Nothing better than that.
Right, and he's got a few to clean.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, just a couple, right?
Right on.
2, 3, 10, 20.
Right on.
But, yeah, also while we were at Cabela's, we talked about a couple weeks ago, I got my barrels. My barrel that I got the gift certificate.
Yeah, you get the magna porting done.
I got a magna port done.
Right.
And one thing Lincoln Road did say was they're going to get loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that because I have another gun that's magna ported, a pistol.
Right.
And so I was kind of looking for some. I'm thinking about trying to use the electronic muffs.
Yeah, you've been talking to a good friend of ours.
Right. I was talking to Bob Rich,
Uh-huh.
the Squirrel Hunters group.
Yep.
Right. And I kind of asked him what he uses, and I can't remember the name that he uses off the top of my head.
Pro Ears.
Pro Ears, thank you. And I was just like, I think I want to try those.
Okay.
So we've kind of been doing a little homework today. We were over
Yeah.
there looking at the whole row of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not a simple decision.
Right.
Microphones and decibels and...
Yeah, basically what Danny's talking about is they're muffs that you put over your ears, like when you go to the shooting range. Except these are electronic, and it'd be like you and me sitting here talking right now. You can hear everything. You can actually turn them up, and it amplifies the I want to say noise, but the background
right.
ambient noise around you. So if you're out in the woods and you're hunting, you hear deer walking, turkey scratching, squirrels, whatever. But when you go to take a shot with like a rifle or a shotgun, as soon as it hears that spike in the audio, we call them noise gates. It clamps down and shuts down, and then it becomes just the muff.
Right. And I think that is so cool.
It is.
I was just like talking with the outfitter there who was helping us, and he was explaining them. I think they were walkers.
Yeah, those were. Yep.
And he was explaining, because they had a brand called the Quad and a regular one, and there was a $20 difference, and they looked the same. So we asked, what's this mean? Well, it had to do with the microphones that picked up on your ears. The Quads have 4, so 2 in the front of the muff and 2 in the back on each side. So you can hear front and back. That just seems so cool to me.
Right.
And he said they're so good that he actually had to take them off when he was deer hunting because the noise was so, with the deer coming in, he just got confused.
Okay.
So I was like, I might have to try these. So I want to do a little bit more homework and maybe get a pair before we head to the range for turkey season.
Right.
And I'd like to try them out. Because normally I just use regular, either the foam earplugs or I got muffs too.
Right.
But those are just...
So you're at the range, you're sitting on the range at the bench, you can be talking back and forth and then go shoot. You don't have to worry, you can hear each other, and then you get hearing protection when you shoot.
Yeah. So, and those, I tell you what, those range anywhere from probably $30 to, I think we saw one that was $300 or $250
per ear, because they were inserts.
Yes.
Like a hearing aid.
Yeah, so that can get expensive really quick. So if you have to buy two, that's $500.
Right.
I'm not going there. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so kind of being the safety thing, you know, the hearing protection and trying to just be careful with the hearing, especially with the guns and the magnet porting that's going to be in a blind.
Right.
I don't know if I'll be able to get that portion of the barrel out the window. When you go to shoot, you're pretty excited anyways.
Right. Right.
You know, and you just I've shot through my blind because
you shot through your blind?
Oh yeah.
You shot a hole in your blind.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I haven't heard this story.
Oh yeah.
Do tell.
Well, it was
oh, man.
It was a few years back. It was an opening morning.
Oh no.
It was right at daybreak.
Okay.
There was a deer down at the bait.
Okay.
And I put my scope up, and it was a 6-point.
Okay.
And that's perfectly legal.
Right.
Because I got a combo tag.
Right.
And I shot. And I got it. It went down, you know, took off. I saw it take off, tail down. I went over there, found blood, and it didn't go far.
Okay.
So I come back to my blind, and I think I was gathering my stuff, and I was sitting down, and I'm looking at because it has like the V window.
Okay.
And I'm looking, I'm going.
This is a pop-up line.
Yeah, it's a pop-up line.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So I kind of start looking further, and I'm like, oh, I think I shot through my blind. Well, I had my when I looked through my scope,
it was above the V.
I was fine.
Right.
But I was sitting back in my chair, and when my barrel was below the V.
I gotcha.
And it was kind of like a flamethrower because the little plastic netting and kind of melted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So right there, that was a good one because I remember my ears ringing when I shot that one.
Right.
Because first of all, the muzzle was inside the blind, but that's a perfect example of I'm thinking why I need these earmuffs.
Right.
And I've seen other people use these too. Plus, it's a microphone where you can kind of turn them up.
Yep.
And hear things walking, right?
Sure.
You know, and I'm thinking the 4 microphones. I don't know. I just got to do a little bit more homework, you know, because really, truthfully, if you're looking straight out in front of you, do you really need a microphone?
Right.
So you could have the other ones and just turn them backwards. I
Right.
think, because I don't know. I think they're any direction microphones. There's no front or rear to them.
Oh, omnidirectional. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a front side and a rear side.
Yeah, basically, it's they hear all the way around. It's not like a directional mic.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm hoping, and I'm just it'll be fun. I don't know which ones to get yet, but I think I do, because like we looked at, there was a bunch of groups, a bunch of people that have these, and from teen decibel to 20, 30 decibel to...
And then when you get up into the $200-$300 range of the individual ones, those are 40 and 50 decibel reduction.
Right, exactly. But I don't think I'm going to be spending $500 on that.
How important is your hearing, though?
It's a lot.
You have hearing problems now.
You know, I really don't per se, but I think I can tell that one ear is a little different than the other ear.
No ringing in there?
Oh, no ringing.
I've got constant.
Yeah, we've talked about that, I think last year or the year before that, you've got that constant ringing in your ear.
Yeah. You know, and for me to sit like out on if I was in the woods, you know, with a muff style just to protect my hearing, that would drive me nuts. Number one, because you couldn't hear game come up. But just the solitude, quiet, and hearing the ringing, it would. Sometimes I have problems going to sleep at night. The ringing.
Because of the ringing.
Yeah, just because you get real quiet and you're ready to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, it becomes conscious that you're hearing that, and it's just like, oh, stop! Like right now, I can hear it.
Yep, exactly.
You know, most of the time I don't.
So why not think safety? Get a little extra. Well,
I'm looking at them from the standpoint that right now, the on the trail segment that we've been posting on our page, that's a project that I work on at work, and it's an outdoor segment that we run on the TV station for our local gun range. And depending on what we're doing, most of the time I'm outside. You know, we talking, you know, hunting, we talk a little fishing, we talk snowmobiles, whatever the season is and whatever's going on. But since I've started this, I've been on the gun range. This week I was on the gun range again. It is an indoor range, enclosed. We went into what I call the small one. There's two sections. There's one where I think they have 10 lines.
Okay.
10 or 12, I can't remember. And then there's a doorway that you can shut, and you go into a 4-bay or a 4-lane shooting range.
Okay.
And it's a little more semi-private, and that's where we shoot. Well, just think about the room getting smaller.
Right, and depending on what gun you're shooting, right?
So I'm always having to borrow hearing protection from them when I go shoot there. Shoot video for them,
Right.
So I thought, well, I've got some here at the house, and I told the owner, Tom, this week, he said, you don't want me to just give you a pair? I go, no, I got plenty of them at home, but I'll bring them in and just leave them at work. Well, I thought, why not use something like this? When you start talking about this, I thought, yeah, this is something I need to check into as well, because then I can be on the range talking, and I can hear, we can communicate back and forth. When he shoots, it's taken care of.
Right, and and if these work as they say, we could probably wear them right now.
Yeah.
And have a conversation but if we were just to turn around and shoot,
yeah,
we'd be all set. So
you'd shoot my
monitor. I didn't say I'd shoot at the monitor. I'd shoot out the window. But yeah, so it was kind of, I don't know. I was thinking safety.
Right.
You hear about tree stand safety. You hear about all the kinds of safety out there.
Heard a guy fell on a tree stand this weekend.
Yeah,
taking one down.
Yep. So that right there, tree stand safety again. Safety.
Mm-hmm.
When you get out even fishing, hook safety.
Yeah.
You don't need
life jackets.
Life jacket. It's all important. It's got to take care of ourselves.
Slow down. Take
Right.
a deep breath. Think before you just jump.
Exactly.
So.
So that's how I want to go with this. I kind of want to go down the safety route and make sure everything I can do, and those seem kind of cool to me. Just,
Okay.
Just if it helps me out in the woods, it does.
Right.
I don't want to be here sitting in this chair when I'm 80 years old going, eh?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Eh?
Yeah, you don't want that. You only get your 2 years given to you when you're born, and you got to carry them with you through the whole life, so take care of them.
Right, exactly. And, it's just take care of them.
And it'd be interesting. I see people wearing them when they're mowing the lawn. Would these work for that? I don't know if they're adjustable as far as the type of noise you're reducing. I don't know.
That would be. You know what? That's a really good one when you're doing the lawn.
Yeah.
I wonder at what noise gate you called it.
Yeah, when it kicks in. What the spike has to be.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah, that's. You just mentioned that. Now that I think about it, I thought most of them were like the radios.
Right.
But I bet you those are like noise canceling ones.
Yeah.
Because I started doing that 2 years ago, wearing earplugs.
Mowing?
And I was using my gun mufflers mowing.
Okay.
Because at work, we have a big push for safety.
Right.
We have to own it.
Right.
And it plays right into that owning your own safety. And I said, well, if I have to do it at work, why don't I just do it at home?
Right.
Because it's like, because I go home, start up the lawnmower, like, wait a second.
Right.
So I started grabbing some extra work earplugs and plugging in, and I started about 2 years ago thinking about that because of work.
Okay.
So I just carried my work to home.
Right on.
Thinking safety, and it's just goes along with when you're running a chainsaw. When you're, don't use a chainsaw and don't use slippers, right?
Right. Well, we're going to be back down at Cabela's in 2 weeks, so when we go back, hopefully we'll have a little more research done.
Yep.
We can maybe ask a few more questions and, update you on, kind of what we're thinking on this, so.
Exactly. So stay tuned on that one, because definitely in August we're going to be talking tree stand safety. So.
Yep, absolutely. So I tell you what, we're a little long here in this segment where we're going to step outside. We're going to take our next break.
Because in the next segment, we got a test coming up.
All right. I hope I pass. We're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this. All right, folks, hang on. We will save this off.
And Tom Beppler says hi.
Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Hi,
From
Tom.
Pennsylvania. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
All righty. You ready?
Ready? And Tim,
Tim,
Get
hope
ready.
you're watching.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Third segment of the show, and Danny told me we're going to be taking a test. I didn't study.
Well, I hope you can pass.
Because,
we like to learn things new.
Yep.
And this year, we brought on Limb Walker Game Calls,
Mm-hmm.
proud sponsor of the Up North Journal.
Yep.
Using game calls and pegs.
Yep.
And we have his turkey sling.
I forgot something. I have to move something, so hang on real quick. You carry on.
I'll go on because I'll give him a plug.
All right.
But we've got Tim's turkey sling right here. We'll be using these hopefully in about a month, a little over a month. But carry our turkeys out of the woods, fluorescent orange.
If I don't knock everything over here.
As Mike knocks things over. So, if you're interested in getting a call from Limb Walkers, get on Facebook, go check him out, and find out. He's got prices there. He's got from an aluminum one to glass to slate to a plastic double-sided right here. And all the prices are on Facebook. Get a hold of him. It's almost that time here in Michigan, so get him to send you a call.
All right, where are you going to do this at, Dan?
You're going to do it right here.
Okay, I tell you what. I'm going to sit over here, and I'm going to run the camera. So everybody that's on the podcast, you're going to have to tune in on the live stream to see this, all right?
But before that, we got a question. My brother is asking, what is the best gun for coyotes?
Depends on where you're hunting and what you're able to use legally.
Correct.
Day, night hunting. I tell you what, we'll carry that on maybe in the next segment.
There you go. So stay tuned. All right. So something we learned from Tim this year was we here in Michigan. Well, really kind of everybody. Us Michigan hunters know how Michigan weather works. One day turkey hunting, it's 60 degrees, blue sky, and beautiful. Next day it's 35 and snowing, or 40 and monsoons. So what happens is, in the mornings tend to be foggy, or you might get morning dew. And what happens is, if you're running a slate call right here, as I'm trying to get these ready,
Quit moving stuff around.
I know, I'm trying. You got it?
Not yet.
All right.
I'm getting there.
So right here, got a slate call. Runs the slate call, everything's good. But what happens, and I'm using, I think this is hickory. Tim can confirm that it's a hickory stick. Here you go. Plays nicely. But what happens when you're sitting under a pine tree and some water gets on it? I don't know. Well, let's find out. I'm going to probably get something wet, and I better not get my phone wet. Right? So let's do this. Let's get this nice and wet. So what happens when your call gets all wet? Oh, man. Usually with slate, this is what happens. My wet, as you can see that.
There you go. Yep. Hold it down. There you go.
Right, see that? It's now from a nice chalky color to a dark, where that's wet. And if you try to run, see that? Sounding really cruddy. But if you use
An acrylic.
an acrylic peg, watch what happens.
Now explain to everybody that the end on that's
Now-
cut, we haven't shaped it
Yeah,
yet.
we're going to work on the end of this acrylic. But if you take an acrylic peg and go, and it's still wet, you can see how dark that is. And if I get it's pretty. There you go. See that shine? Ooh, that's kind of there. Oh, but it's wet. Well, you know what? Let me get it more wet, just to prove a point. There you go. So let's run it. Basically, this acrylic will play the slate when drenched. Pretty cool. Found that out with Tim. See? It's trying to play it, not sounding good. But if I go here, it plays. Pretty cool when you're talking waterproof.
It is, and
it's funny, and so kind of explain. Tim told us that a couple weeks back.
yeah,
And we're like, okay, we got to test it. Well, we were called out at Cabela and said, well, let's test it right now. And I think he said, okay, we got a bottle of water here.
Yep.
And we did that. And I tell you what, the response we got when people saw that,
we're blown away.
we're blown away.
Yep.
Blew us away.
Yep.
So, but there you go.
Let me see that.
There you go.
But yeah, it. And it is still wet, so you can see the shine there as I move it back and forth.
And this is a hickory stick.
Yep. But excuse me,
Man,
but
good one.
it's Tim's acrylic peg here, and he sent it to us so we could actually shape it the way we'd like. So.
Yep, he sends them out flat like that so you can work on them. Because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Typically, you get the balled off,
Mm-hmm.
and it usually does well. So we got to work the acrylic ones.
Right.
But we just wanted to run this test because what happens in Michigan, and it's happened to me. I was sitting under a tree,
Absolutely.
and all of a sudden I look down and my slate's got spots on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Yep.
But now that I know I can run an acrylic over it, I'm good to go.
Lim Walker game calls.
There you go.
Right here. So.
So if you need some pegs, an acrylic peg would be a great one to add to your collection.
Absolutely.
So
Get
a hold of Tim at Lim Walker Game Calls on Facebook. Get yourself some acrylic pegs.
Absolutely. Another one, Tim. Just FYI, I know you're having us play with this one this year. Is the aluminum. I can tell you what. I'm not going to play anymore because that's loud.
You should have heard that in the store.
Yeah. Big hit. So
That was a big hit. They really keyed in on that one. A lot of people, we showed them the double-sided.
Mm-hmm.
They really liked that because basically they were getting the two calls in one.
Yep.
They liked that. And then when we showed them how to use the acrylic on it, that really was a big one.
Yep.
And the aluminum was definitely you could hear it echoing in the store. It was kind of cool.
Like I said, we left a lot of people probably ticked off at us by the time we left today.
Right.
It's like 2 days of this.
Between our mouth calls and the pot calls, and we were using box calls.
Yeah.
Because people would ask us, or would want to be shown how to use a box call or a pot call or a mouth call. Like we said, there was a lot of new people that were interested in learning. So
right on.
Kind of cool. But we did a test right there in Cabela's to prove that out.
Yep. We got called out and said, prove it. Okay, here you go. Stand back.
And you are totally correct, Tim. See, he says we need our ear protection for the aluminum ones.
Yes, you do. That would be a good test.
I wonder if we could do it and get it high enough that it would actually cut it off.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but nope, it was really cool. So we learned this year what acrylic does for calls.
Right. Hey, hand me that glass of water. I'm thirsty. Let me finish that off. You're going to spill it.
Yeah, I probably would.
I tell you what. Let's go ahead and let's take our last break. And we come back. We'll kind of save everything here for the end of the show because I got to move the other camera back anyway.
All right, let's do that.
All right, we're going to step outside. We're going to take our last break. We come back. We got a couple little things we want to run by you and wrap up the show. We'll be right back after this. All right, everybody.
Everybody out on Facebook, man. I tell you what, you got to try it. If you're into calls and you're thinking about make sure, see if you can find an acrylic call. Get them from Lim Walker. Get them from Tim. He'll send you some acrylic pegs because I think it's going to make a big difference out when you're out early turkey season because it's not always nice.
No, it's not. Like you said, fog, dew, whatever, a little mist. You just got heaviness in the air even. I looked down before and my slate will just be, it'll be dark. And I'm like, oh no, I can't,
I know, I've been sitting there when I've just been kind of running and gunning a little bit during the afternoon or something, or in the morning, and I'll be under a tree that has the dew on it and the wind, and it kind of shakes, and you get the pine drenches, and you look down and goes, well, how did that get there?
Right.
So it's good to know that we'll have something in my bag of tricks that hopefully will do the trick in case of bad weather.
Absolutely.
Right?
All right, folks, give me just a second here. Let me kind of put things back in place.
Yeah, he's got to reassemble.
I just got to move, that's all.
All right, where did I lost our picture? There we go. Whew. So, last segment of the show coming up, folks. Any questions out there, get them to us. Remember, go check Tim out, Facebook. Jeff McAvoy, thanks guys for the info for the new turkey hunter. How would you shape the peg?
It's a good question. There's different ways. Like,
Do we want to record that or?
no, we'll just leave this for the live stream. So they can come back.
Teaser, yeah, okay.
See, this is one of the reasons if you're listening to the podcast, you got to come back and see stuff like this. This one's rounded. I've got one that's kind of flat. I've got one that's bulbed on the end and beveled.
Here's one.
That's better, and yeah, that might show up a little better. See, it's how. Actually, you know what? Let me cut to the other camera here. Hang on. Before we start this next segment, we'll answer some questions.
Don't worry, he's only got like 15 pegs in here.
Yeah, we'll find one. Okay. Round it in there. Okay.
There you go. Add those.
This I don't know if you can see it, but that's a beveled end. Okay. This has got a slightly rounded but a real thin end.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, here we go. That's another beveled.
Yeah, but
It's
look
also
at the bell on it.
It's belled on the end.
Yep.
Okay, so probably what I would do is I would start rounded, and I wouldn't get real crazy with it. I'd probably make it something like this.
And to get there, Tim is suggesting using 150 green grit sandpaper.
150 grit. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
There we go.
So there you go. So the end, really, if you look at any other strikers, you can model it after that one. As you can see on the end of that one is flat right now, but with 150 grit sandpaper, Mike's gonna tune it into what he wants. And I think what we're gonna do is we'll do them, and I think you're gonna do one way, and I'm gonna do another way.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just slowly rounding the edge.
Yeah.
And working it and checking it and working it and checking it, and kind of see where it gets to a point where I can play it with no problem, just putting it down and playing on it. Versus trying to find that sweet spot like right now because it's such a hard edge.
Yeah, it is. It's a very hard edge.
That was the one thing is getting the right angle on it. So, but that's the way you can tune the striker to what your liking is.
Exactly.
So, your brother asked a question. We're gonna take this into the next segment.
Yeah, let's
because we talked about coyotes, right?
Yeah, let's take it into the next segment.
All right, here we go. Stand by. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the last segment of the show. And for those of you on the podcast, you just missed a little tip or a trick that you need to watch the live stream.
Yep. It was about the acrylic.
Yep, about the acrylic call that we just talked about.
And we go back to our Facebook Live segment, check it out, and check it out. So, just before we went into that segment, we were talking about hearing coyotes, and my brother had a question. What would be a good best gun for a coyote?
Cannon.
Well, yeah. Some
depends on
mortars.
It depends on where you're hunting. It depends if it's daytime, nighttime. There's certain rules and regulations you got to follow. Public land, private land, all that kind of good stuff. Nighttime hunting, state of Michigan. If memory serves me correctly, because the laws could have changed this year, but rimfire only at night, which is an HMR 17 or a 17 Mach 2. That's your 17 caliber, which is a rimfire, or a 22 mag.
Yep.
Which is a rimfire. 22, yeah, you could use that. I'd go with the mag. Why not?
I'd go with the mag at that point. A coyote is a decent sized animal.
Absolutely. Now,
it's not a rabbit. So.
Other than that, at night you can use a shotgun. Okay. So that would
you can use a shotgun.
Yes.
the Remington turkey / predator gun that I got.
With buckshot.
You would use.
I just use a shotgun that could shoot buckshot.
Right.
And that would probably be my go-to if I was going to use a shotgun. Now, if you're talking rifle, I personally I have an AR-15, shoots 5.56 with higher powered scope on it.
Okay.
Shooting long distance. You could go 243. Actually, in the state of Michigan, in the lower zone, as long as it's not deer season, you can use 30-06. And I've confirmed that with the DNR.
Just 30-06?
No, I mean high-powered rifle.
Oh, high-powered rifle.
30,
okay.
30, you know.
308.
308, yeah. I think that's a little overkill.
You know,
The coyote here in the corner, I killed with 22 mag. Pretty good clip, but well over 100 yards.
I guess with a high power, I think what they're thinking is in farm fields.
Yeah.
Reach out and touch.
Yeah.
At a distance.
I've got a 22 Hornet that I wouldn't be afraid to use. That's a center fire 22 caliber.
Okay.
I load them hot. I do reload, and I load those hot. Probably use like a Hornet poly tip. I think I load 40 grain, maybe 45s. I can't remember. Yeah, they do wonders on groundhogs.
So, basically, the best thing to do is figure out what type of hunting you're going to do,
Yes.
where you're going to do it,
Yes.
and then decide what to use.
Yeah, I mean, are you hunting over a field? Are you shooting off your back porch because you got them running, 50 yards at the back edge of a wood line, and you're worried about them getting your pets?
What would you use? Let's
Mhm.
just throw that hypothetical out. We're standing on your back porch, and we can see how far is it to that back.
330 yards.
Thank you very much.
Don't ask me how I know that.
I know. I won't.
But I have ranged it.
But what would you use? Let's say we're gonna sit on your porch and we're gonna shoot at a coyote that's out there.
Out there that far?
Yeah, something like that.
What would I use? Wow, that's a good question. Maybe my AR.
Okay.
If I had it dialed in.
Well, I'm assuming. Let's say you did all your guns are sighted in for the best distance.
Yeah. I mean, out of what I have personally, I would use that, or I might use my 22 Hornet because I do load that hot.
Okay.
I mean, those things can scream. I've not sighted those rifles in they're basically sighted in at 100 yards. And I don't know what the drop is. I've shot them both at 200 yards.
Okay. You get a lot of drift?
Not so much drift if the wind's not blowing real bad, but I do get quite a bit of drop. So
What's the furthest you've ever shot one of your guns?
200 yards. Yeah. Don't have a range around here that I can shoot much further. I can't shoot any further than that.
My friend Andrew's got that.
Yeah.
They go up and shoot that 500, 1,000.
Right. Yeah, that's a private course, and you actually.
No, that's not. Well, it's not. It's on public land.
But you've got to be verified to shoot that range.
No, it's not a range. They got it off on state land.
Oh, okay.
They created their own range.
Okay, I know there's a range up that way.
Yes, across which would be the
West side
of the state. Yes, there is that range too.
I know up in Alpena, the Alpena Sportsman's Club has a 600-yard range.
There's not many ranges that you can go
and I stood at the shooting line and I looked down and I went, "Where's the target?"
Right?
I mean, that's a long poke.
And in matter of fact, I was flipping through and I was on the Outdoor Channel and they I think Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nights is like their shooting night.
Right.
And that's what they were doing. They were some instructor was having them shoot at I think it was up to 1,000 yards.
Okay.
And they did I guess it would be like almost like a normal. And it was like a normal view from this, and you're like looking at the screen going, "Where's that target?"
Right. That's a long poke.
Man, you're not kidding. So there you go. You just got to do a little bit of homework, find out where, when, where, and then decide what you're going to use.
Right.
But you could use a
243,
a 243,
yeah.
Or you could use a 12 gauge with buckshot.
Yeah.
Depending on if you're going to be close, you get them in close enough. Then,
Right.
You go with the buckshot.
Daytime, nighttime, there's a lot of things that play into it. Some of it's just personal preference on what you're used to shooting too. What you're comfortable with.
If you get them close enough, you can use the bow.
Yeah, right on.
So there you go, Terry.
So So I hope that answers the question.
It actually gives you more questions, but
It does.
It gives you more thought.
It gives you reason to go buy a few more rifles and start playing around with it.
Well, it gives you more thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because depending on whether you're going to be on a farm field, you're going to be up north in the woods.
Yeah. Well, at our camp, it's if you're out deer hunting, it's shoot on sight.
No, absolutely.
SOS. Shoot on sight. It doesn't matter, deer rifle, whatever you've got. If I had one in front of me with my bow, I'd shoot it. If I was turkey hunting and you got close enough, I'd fill them full of number 5s. You know, I might not. It depends on where you hit them at, I guess. You know, how close they are.
You know, and then that's the other part of it is how close they're going to be when you shoot them, right?
Right.
But the only problem I have when shooting during deer season is it's like, man, if I shoot this, am I going to screw up my hunt?
I shot at one during deer season.
I know.
I
had one.
Shot at one.
I had one opening morning
Mm-hmm.
come in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I let him go. I was like, I can't do it.
Right.
It was like 10 o'clock. It was like, I was like, oh, and I let him go.
Okay. Have you ever shot a deer in the afternoon or in the evening?
Yep,
Okay. Well, other people are shooting around the area.
I know.
You know, that's the kind of way I look at it.
Exactly.
So
So it's just me on that day.
I've
Maybe next time it might be different if I see him, and
yeah.
maybe I'll just nail him and be done with it and just let him lay there for a while.
I get him out of there because the smell, the deer. That is the one issue that I would be concerned about is the smell, the scent off of.
Off the predator.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The deer would become alarmed at that as well, you know, and stay away from your area. So yeah, I would. If I shot it, I'd get rid of it.
Now I'm gonna get him mounted.
Yeah, and take it over to somebody that you don't like and throw it in their field.
You right? Right?
No, I'm not suggesting that. No, I take that back.
No, not that you would do that.
No.
So,
all right, we've got 4 or 5 minutes left.
yeah. Other than that, it's been a whirlwind weekend.
It's been a whirlwind week as well. We're going to touch on a subject that we're not going to go into a whole lot of detail on, but we feel like we need to cover this because
it's one of those subjects that we're not a part of, but it
Right.
affects what we do.
absolutely. You know, this week there was some information that come out publicly involving some people that are in the hunting world.
Right.
And I don't know how widely this is really known, so we're not mentioning names or anything. But basically, it's just doing things the right way and doing things the wrong way. There's ways of doing things, and making sure that you know, we did an interview at ATA with Bill Epperts, PSC elite staff.
You talk about some great words of wisdom.
He's talking about people getting into the industry. Keep your nose clean.
And he's an ex-cop.
He is.
So when he says that, he's saying it for two purposes.
In life.
In life, keep your nose clean.
And in business.
In business, keep your nose clean.
Absolutely.
It came to light that some things have been going on in the industry with a certain individual that it's not good.
No, it's not. Not good at all.
And I guess as we've talked, it's more of I don't know if we're sad. It's just shocked, sad, but it's
disappointed.
Yeah, very disappointed. But when we do things in the outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've heard from time and time again others shooting one too many bucks,
Mm-hmm.
shooting and not having the right tag,
Yep.
shooting in one state, moving to another state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just different things that every time something happens like this, it's a black eye.
Sure.
And these the so-called professionals
Mm-hmm.
that get caught doing this,
Gives everybody a bad
it
name.
gives everybody a bad name.
Absolutely.
And so Mike and I, we've always tried to make sure of our regulations,
Mm-hmm.
making sure we're doing everything on the up and up.
Yep.
Whether we're doing business dealings, it's just when something like this happens, and this is not a small thing.
No, it's
This
not.
this could go big
It has potential to be real big.
and really bad for this person.
Yep.
And and this person's got a family.
Yep.
So it's not only going to affect this person, but the family
Yep. And friends,
and friends.
friends as well.
Right. So we just wanted to talk about this tonight because it's just one of those things that it is it close to home? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weighing really heavy.
It is. We've been talking about the last
4 days.
4 days.
Yep.
It's just getting out there, doing like we did at Cabela's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by no means are we professionals.
No.
But we're going to try to give the best information we can to our knowledge.
Yep.
Things that have worked. We're not going to blow sunshine up your butt saying, hey, if you do this and,
right.
you know.
The pro means promotional.
Right.
You know.
You know,
I hate the word pro staff. I don't like that term, and that's, I mean, we're not even going there, but the point is we're trying to promote the sport in the best possible light that we can, and getting new people into the outdoors, like the kids this weekend with the calls. You know, that was a breath of fresh air. That kind of took that heaviness off this last 4 days.
Oh,
it
was fun watching them try to run the call, and then when they got the little bit of sound,
yep,
they got
light up.
Yeah. So now you take it years down the road, and this person in the outdoor industry did what they have been accused of doing.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, we needed to reflect on it for each other, because you know. They'll get you to the point of when you tag the animal.
Yeah, we talked about it in our seminars this weekend. You know, taking pictures. You know, you take your selfie with your game. You know, there may not be any malintent. You just, man, you're proud. You go up, you got, say it's turkey, and you're holding the bird, and you kind of take a selfie. Well, if you hadn't tagged the animal yet, you can't touch the animal until you tag. You got to tag it first, then take the picture.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's the true rule. Is you're not supposed to move the game until they're tagged, and it's a really gray area.
Yep.
If they can be really
anal
about it, right?
Yeah,
Good word.
Right.
And say, okay, you picked up the head,
Mm-hmm.
but you put it right back down, and then you tagged it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or they could say, well, you took the picture at this time,
Yeah.
and
There's no tag.
there's no tag.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Or another one is, boy, according to Facebook, you posted this picture of this buck that you shot was at 10 o'clock in the morning.
You bought a tag.
But our records
You knew
indicate at 1:30 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
you were buying a tag.
Yeah.
Could you enlighten us on the story?
Yep.
Okay. So that just goes to show you a little bit of what plays in our minds when stories like this come out.
Yeah.
You know, and this has to, and then, okay, so that instance, we're just talking about you and the animal. Well, this instance is one person is dealing with a bunch of other people.
Yep. There's a lot of people involved. So.
And so it has nothing to do with an animal. It's person to person communication, and it sucks.
Yeah. Yep. And you know, we know there'll be other things that come out about this, and we'll talk more in depth about it when that happens right now, because there's stuff's just got to play out. So basically what we're saying is treat people with respect. Don't lie. Don't try to cheat the system. Don't poach. You know, do things the right way.
There's a reason why you need to go out and get a license.
Yeah.
There's a reason you have to do things in certain ways.
Yeah.
You know, it just.
You know, we're working on the video. Actually, we haven't even mentioned this part yet. But
we haven't gotten there yet.
We're working on the video that we did while we were up at the Deer Health Check with Dr. James Kroll. You know, and he talks about management and giving back, whether it's private land or public land, and giving back to the resource, managing the resource, doing things the right way. And that's all we want, man. It's a resource. We want to be able to pass this on to our kids and have them enjoy it.
Doing it the right way, learning,
Mm-hmm.
and teaching.
Right.
And passing it on.
Yep.
And that passing on can be young and old.
Yep.
Because you're never too old to try something new.
Absolutely.
And you're never too young to try it for the first time.
All right. So that's all I want to say about that.
Yeah.
Other than that,
until further notice.
yeah, pay attention this week. We're going to try to release the video that we did at the deer necropsy. We talked about making this as a podcast audio interview.
But we figured it's not.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work because when he's talking, he's actually doing his work.
He's showing.
And he actually shows you stuff. So you wouldn't be able to get the visual in your head when he talks about it. But if you put the two together, it's
good.
It's good.
And it's a half hour.
And it's a half hour. So stay tuned. Hopefully later in the week we'll release that.
Yep.
And then try to get some feedback on it.
All right. So for the podcast portion of the show, we're going to wrap it up now. And We'll be back again next week. Who knows what we got going on? I don't know yet. Right now we're kind of topsy-turvy, depending if it's hot or cold out. How the weather plays. So I want to get out and shoot my bows. I got some arrows I got to fletch. So there's a lot of stuff, that I can be doing, and hopefully we'll be reporting back on it next week. So that'll do us here for us at the Up North Journal on the podcast portion. So as we always say, if you're out in the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week. And for those of you on the live stream, if you got any questions,
anything going on, let us know. If not,
shoot us.
Oh, I think it finally got dark.
Did it get dark?
Oh no, I still see the
All right.
sun's going down.
We'll stay on here for a few more minutes. If you got anything, throw it at us real quick. We'd be glad to talk. And
Tim's gonna send us some green colored slate.
green slate. That's different.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him.
Okay.
I'll have to ask him some more about that. That's a question. Matter of fact, that I got for him now.
Okay.
Maybe I'll save that for a question out on the limb on Friday night.
There you go. Yeah, we want to promote Tim's show. On the Limb, it's his Facebook live stream, Friday night at 8 o'clock?
Friday nights, typically at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Sometimes there's internet problems, sometimes things, and he moves it a day to Saturday night. But mainstay, 8 o'clock, Friday night.
Okay.
Out on the Limb with Tim Cius. Find him on Facebook.
It's on his personal Facebook page.
I think he runs it on the personal.
Tim, go ahead and post below. Let us know where. Because I don't see it because I'm at work and I'm always out running and shooting video for sports, whatever's going on. Right now it's basketball, so every Friday night I'm out.
Yeah, you're out. It's Green Slate from Vermont, he's saying.
Oh, okay. Yep, Tammy, you have a great week as well. Absolutely.
Different colored slates.
Yeah.
Will they play different?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to ask Tim on
there you go. On
Friday night. Hopefully I'm on and I can ask him and then get it direct from the carver's mouth.
The wood turner's wood mouth. The person who's turning the wood.
Right.
Who's making the calls. Making the pegs. Making the slate.
The lathe master.
There you go. The lathe master. I like that.
There you go.
So.
All right. If not, we'll get out of here. Everybody have a good week. And we'll talk to you next week.
All right. We're going to sign out, folks. Oh, wait. Live on the Limb every Friday at 8 on his personal page. You see it right here?
There you go.
Click on his name. It'll take you to his Facebook page. 8 p.m. Friday nights on the Limb. Anything you want to talk about with turkey hunting or turkey calls, he'll be more glad to entertain those.
That's right.
Those questions. So, all right, folks, we're going to sign off for this week's live stream, and
we'll talk to y'all next week.
Everybody be safe out there. Have a good time, and if you're getting ready for turkey season, get out, pattern those guns, start practicing those calls.
And never too late to scout.
Absolutely. Y'all take care.